Despite attacks on INEC facilities in some states, President Muhammadu Buhari says the election management body will conduct credible elections next year. President Buhari was speaking at the United States Institute of Peace in Washington, D.C. State House correspondent Adeswa Omorua reports on this and other engagements of the president as he wraps up his trip to the U.S. for the U.S.-Africa Leaders Summit.
Excellency, Mr. President, we invite you to the podium.
President Buhari returns to the U.S. Institute of Peace almost 8 years after. The institute first played host to the president in 2015 after winning a watershed election. Buhari says elections have steadily improved in his administration while dismissing concerns that attacks on INEC offices would impede the elections next year.
INEC is prepared to conduct the elections next year. I would say they are, because I made sure they were given all the resources they asked. So I don't want any excuse that they were denied funds by the government. So they were given the money, although some of their offices in 1 or 2 geopolitical zones have been attacked, but all the same, INEC has not complained, and certainly they could not complain that they were denied resources to make sure that their infrastructure is firmly in place.
In his remarks to the audience, the president reiterates his administration has delivered on its promises of security, economy, and fighting corruption.
Despite glooming outlook in the global economy and the ongoing war in Ukraine, Nigeria's economy continues to register positive growth, especially in the last 2 quarters. Government spending on infrastructure has also been a critical aspect of our overall strategy. Our infrastructure deficit is widely known, and with the volatility in capital markets, we devise creative ways of funding this infrastructure gap to build roads and thus improving connectivity between markets and facilitating trade. As the relevant agencies continue to make impressive recoveries, as well as secure court convictions of those sabotaging Nigeria's efforts for sustained development and growth. That when I assumed power, Boko Haram held about 2/3 of Borno State, half of Yobe State, and a couple of local government areas in Adamawa State. Today, this is no longer the case. But as a country and sub-region, we continue to be negatively impacted by the events in Libya, Central African Republic, the Sahel, and the war in Ukraine.
The institute praises Buhari for his effort at promoting political pluralism and signing the Electoral Act. Away from that, as part of his diaspora town hall meetings, Buhari meets with Nigerians in Washington.
Thank you to Mr. President for doing something very remarkable that I find inspiring as a woman. He appointed the first female ambassador to the U.S., Dr. Eminike. And that is something we don't highlight enough. And just seeing her in office and seeing how she's opened the embassy and open to partnerships with diaspora businesses is quite remarkable.
Nigeria is an idea, it is a story, but it is an idea and a story that is upheld because each of us believe in it. When I look at you, I say, this is my brother, I trust you, I want to work with you. And every minority group that have had success away from home has done so because they believe and trust in each other. We have our cultural identity, we have our heritage that is hundreds of thousands of years beyond anything that has been developed in the West. And so what we need to do is continue to buy into our ingenuity, who we are, our history, and we are seeing it happen, and this is evidence of it.
The president, in what will be his last meeting with Nigerians in Washington, as he prepares to leave office May next year, extols their contribution to national economic prosperity.
Many of our diaspora compatriots are actively investing in our healthcare, agriculture, education, information and communication technology, housing and real estate, transportation, oil and gas, and other services. I must say this is most commendable, and in our enlightened collective staff self-interest, as only Nigerians both at home and abroad can develop Nigeria, I am personally proud of you all.
As he leaves Washington back to Nigeria, he joins the enviable club of octogenarians and accomplishes a major milestone as the only sitting Nigerian president to celebrate his 80th birthday while in power.
Happy birthday, President. Happy birthday to you. May the good Lord bless you. May the good Lord bless you. May the good Lord bless you, our President. May the good Lord bless you.
Adesua Omoruan, Arise News.